The past 3 years have seen an explosion of excitement surrounding electric vehicles. However, everyone seems to be overlooking the fact that typical American just cannot buy one. But the Biden administration is pushing hard to make EVs mandatory for all citizens. And in this video, I'm going to show you the present American population and you'll see why EVs are out of reach for many people. In addition, I'll explain how Biden's proposal would affect regular people like you and me as customers. And keep watching to find out how Toyota might have genuine rivals in the automotive and EV markets. Now, people are generally aware that the price of gasoline has increased, but they may not fully grasp the extent of the problem. Simply rewinding the clock reveals an almost 44% increase in petrol cost, and that's ridiculous amount to pay for nothing more than inflation. That's why a growing number of people are considered buying electric vehicles. In February, the median price of a new gas-powered vehicle was $45,600, while the median price of a new electric car was over $60,000. Of course, you can spend less on second-hand internal combustion engine automobile than a cheap electric vehicle, which begs the question, how wealthy or poor Americans right now? And how many people in the United States have disposable income for an electric vehicle? Currently, only 18% of the household in the United States may be classified as an upper class since their yearly income is more than $156,000. Since the median household income in the United States is currently $67,000, they are in the best position to provide an EV if they want. Now, the middle income range in the United States is $25,000 to $50,000, where around 20% of households fall, and 18% of American families had annual income of less than $25,000. In case you missed it, it translates to 38% of all American homes, all of which are regarded to be the lower socioeconomic class since their annual income is less than $52,000. You see, most families are just scraping by in the world where average family size 2 to 6 people. So, do you really expect 38% of American households to be able to buy an EV? Naturally, that's not the case. Now, President Biden has ambitious ideas for EVs, but they won't be popular with everyone in the United States. Let me explain. You see, Biden held a virtual major economics foreign and energy and climate forum a few months ago, and this was his third such meeting since taking office. As part of their climate change plans, certain countries have committed to reducing carbon emissions from ocean shipping, and others made commitments to decrease methane emissions and improve fertilizer efficiency and alternatives. Yet one promise kept popping up: increase the number of zero-emission automobiles on the road. That's where President Biden's ambitions plans come in. The administration aims to have half of all new light-duty cars sold in 2030 be zero-emission vehicles or ZEVs, and vehicles powered by fossil fuels, electricity, batteries, and plug-in hybrid technology fall under this category. And now, with Biden's renewed dedication, the three automakers in the world are transitioning away from gasoline vehicles at a rate unimaginable only a few years ago. In the current form, high-end EVs are already too expensive for the typical Americans to consider purchasing or maintaining. We have luxury vehicles like the Tesla Model S, which begins at over $80,000, and economy vehicles like the Chevrolet Bolt, which starts at $31,000. Now, it is possible to reduce the purchase price of a brand new EV in certain ways. For instance, a federal tax credit can knock up $7,500 of the MSRP. Credits like this are offered to encourage the purchase of brand new electric vehicles, and to be eligible for the discount, your household's income must fall within the specified range. Tesla's former top engineer and current Lucid CEO Peter Rollison has acknowledged that the company likely wouldn't exist without the financing. He even went so far as to say that the US government ultimately led to Tesla's success. However, analysts have noted that Tesla's rivals are rapidly closing the gap in the company's rearview mirror. During the first 3 months of 2021, 18 different electric vehicle models were purchased by Americans, and this year, that number increased to 32. One expert believes at the year's end, that figure will have to increase at least 50. And now, the question then becomes, who is Tesla's main rival? Not long behind them, the Ford Mustang Mach-E is projected to become 2022's third best-selling electric vehicle. The analysis suggests that over the next 3 years, Tesla's present market share might fall over 75 to as low as 11%. It's even taking a nosedive right now. Actually, owing to their new electric vehicles, Ford and GM are forecast to approach 15%. And in light of Tesla's current position as the market leader in electric vehicles, it's hard to see them falling to such a distant position. CEO Jim Farley has stated that Ford will invest $35 billion in EVs and driverless vehicles by 2025, and by then, they anticipate selling over 400,000 electric vehicles in the United States, making them the market leader. Ford recently made headlines when it revealed plans to invest an additional $50 billion in electrification by 2026. By 2025, they hope to overtake Toyota in EV sales. On the other hand, Honda does not offer any electric models in the United States, but Honda has announced that they would be producing not one, not two, but 30 electric vehicles worldwide by the year 2030, with 20 of those vehicles destined for the American market. This is bad news for Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, and the many other automakers gearing up to enter battery electric vehicle market. The hydrogen car market is also growing rapidly alongside the electric vehicle market. In 1966, General Motors introduced the Electrovan, the first hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles have come a long way in the past half-century, but they're still not cheap to mass produce. Hydrogen fueling stations are extremely rare outside the few countries and areas with them, and the lack of a widespread infrastructural network contributes to the dismal state of hydrogen sales in the United States. Now, you can get your hands on a hydrogen automobile unless you reside in California. This is because only California has a hydrogen fueling infrastructure, and you're out of luck once you leave the state. Now, before we continue, I want to thank you for getting this far, and if you want to know more about Honda, then make sure to watch this next part. Honda and GM are also planning to collaborate on developing a new global platform for their cheap electric vehicle lineup. The collaborative platform's goal is to compete with and ultimately surpass Tesla, and they want to implement GM next generation Ultium battery technology in this joint venture. Furthermore, they want to provide a versatile battery design, an exceptional power range, and a top-notch performance. It is anticipated that in 2027, Honda and GM will collaborate to build millions of inexpensive EVs, and some of these brand new automobiles, including tiny crossover electric vehicles, will be sent abroad. Let's be real, most shoppers already realize that EVs are in splurge. That's why EVs produced by the Honda GM alliance won't set you back more than $30,000. The objective is to return when vehicles are commonly owned and reasonably priced, barring unforeseen external events. The new partnership's financials have not yet been made public at this time, but it has been announced that the automakers will meet to examine possible future collaboration on EV battery technologies. One aim of working together is to reduce the price of electrification while simultaneously increasing performance and fostering sustainability. It is currently unclear if these new EVs will utilize Honda's architecture or GM's platform, and cars be made at either GM or Honda plant, but production expenses will be split evenly between the two firms. After putting $700 million into General Motors' Cruise autonomous car division, Honda and GM have joined forces to create the Cruise Origin autonomous EV. Honda's alliances extend to other major corporations in addition to GM. Honda is also collaborating with Sony, another major player in the technology industry, and they plan to launch a new company under a new name. There's currently no name chosen for this new enterprise. Some have theorized that it ought to be called Soda or Honey or other hybrid of the two, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, along with coming up with catchy moniker, they must also work out the kinks in their brand's production, presentation, and promotion. Honda will produce new electric vehicles at Honda facilities, while Sony expected to provide a platform for mobility services. In its initial appearance at CES 2 years ago, Sony unveiled a prototype automobile. The vision idea was communicated through this concept automobile, which depicts an electric vehicle equipped with many sensors and cutting-edge technology. Sony previously claimed that the autonomous vehicle concept automobile was created for testing purposes. Then, Sony returned to CES this year with their Vision SO2 SUV idea. A further challenge for Toyota EVs is battery switching. The idea is that, for the price of a monthly membership, you'll have an easy access to station where you can swap your batteries, and you won't have to wait around to charge your EV ever again. Now, the system is already by NIO, a Chinese car company. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if the typical American customer had never heard of NIO. The firm has been around for less than a decade. You see, NIO intended to take on the major names in the traditional gasoline-powered sector. However, they knew they'd have to cut costs elsewhere if they were going to compete with likes of Tesla and other electric car manufacturers. This would reduce their EV price, increase availability, and extend their lifespan. Only in retrospect does it seem like such an obvious solution, but in reality, it is a true game changer. Most Chinese EV buyers are found in the country's megacities and towering condominiums, so installing charging stations in your own house wasn't something you want to do. That's why NIO set up a network of battery exchange locations. BOSS is an abbreviation for Battery as a Service, which is what the industry calls it. It's essentially a membership service for batteries. Now, here's how it works. NIO EVs are over $11,000 less expensive than comparable models sold by competing manufacturers. This vehicle is less expensive since it lacks an internal battery. Instead, you subscribe to NIO's EV battery replacement service and pay a monthly fee. NIO had performed over 2 million battery changes by the end of the last year, and over 40% of their customers base had switched to the BOSS plan. The service is provided through an automatic battery switching procedure and a mobile solution linked to a network of battery swapping facilities. Now let me explain how it operates. First, you must go your EV to the charging station. It is then taken to an automated battery replacement system located in a vehicle lift. Before being charged and used, a cloud-based battery management system assesses every battery pack taken from a vehicle for electrical performance. The battery is then removed from a service and submitted for maintenance if any issues are found. And these charging stations also provide a quick battery replacements. Then, completely charged battery may be installed in a car in 3 to 5 minutes. That's much shorter than the typical 75 minutes charge time at supercharging station. It's more like filling up a car with a gas tank now. Now, in China alone, NIO has established a 301 battery switching station as of last year, and by 2025, they hope to have 3,000 such stations around the globe. For $12 per month, NIO service allows for 6 exchanges. The range may be increased to about 1,500 miles with 6 exchanges. There are around 75,500 NIO EVs on the road as of last year. According to industry experts, the Boss subscription service garnered about $4.5 million in monthly recurring income. However, NIO isn't confined to the borders of China alone. They have branches in several international cities including Beijing, Munich, Oxford, Oslo, and San Jose. There's even speculation that NIO is in China's answer to Tesla, and you probably won't believe this, but China is one of the world's top producer of automobiles. NIO reported in May of this year that they have delivered almost 205,000 automobiles throughout the globe. NIO is already one of the most valuable automotive manufacturers in the world with a market cap of more than $15 billion. NIO is actively expanding, and the Norwegian market is now served. In Europe, NIO's electric vehicles and proprietary charging infrastructure made their debut in Norway. Currently, 20 additional expansion are being built, and the company hopes to open up business in Dutchland, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, and the Netherlands by the end of this year. Well, what about the US? Actually, NIO has a local presence in the United States. It's in California in a city called San Jose, and it's really big. There's a 202,000 square foot office building over there, and NIO has recently made several headlines in the media due to several exciting job postings the company has made available. In particular, NIO is looking for skilled American factory builders and industrial engineers. Furthermore, the firm seeks a blueprint planner with prior expertise in at least one US plant project. If you think about the vacancy, the evidence is nearly indisputable that NIO is planning to open a factory in the United States. You would be mistaken if you thought constructing a factory in the United States would be a breeze. At the moment, NIO doesn't produce any automobiles on its own. Instead, they've been working with Jianghuai Automobile Group or JAC since 2016. The state of China owns a majority stake in JAC, an automaker. And each time JAC manufactures car for NIO hands over the payment to JAC. The JAC NIO Advanced Manufacturing Facility in the Chinese province of Anhui is where all of these cars are made. It's unknown whether NIO will run its US operation alone or with JAC's help if it launches there. The presence of a Chinese state business, JAC in this case, would undoubtedly draw the attention of US authorities and legislators. Now, NIO has gone a long way for such small company. It will be exciting to see its US expansion. You see, the automobile has been experiencing a rapid growth in terms of innovation. So, Toyota clearly needs to step up in its game to catch up. So, what do you think of Toyota's approach? Is the company doing enough? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And while you're at it, make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons as well. Now, if you want to know more about EV models, then make sure to click and watch this video right here and enjoy. And that's the end of this video, guys. See you next time.